Hola, it's Carpaccio with the weekly Pele report. I'm out here at Lake Istan, outside Marbella, and that is the highest mountain that's around this whole area. And it is beautiful. Today I am going to go sit under the Bodhi tree. Now, it's not a Bodhi tree, it's just the only tree. Moon's in Scorpio, folks, going into Sagittarius, and it's going to stay there right on through Friday, squaring Mercury tomorrow, trining Venus and Chiron as it gets in there. And Friday's our big day. Not only is it the equinox, the sun moving into Libra, but it is also a square moon. The moon is up there in Sagittarius at 29 degrees, 32 minutes of Sag. Just on the final cusp going into Capricorn as the sun moves into Libra. So it's really going to be something. And in addition to that, we've got Venus still moving along, okay, in trine to Chiron, around 15, 16 degrees of Leo. She's still picking up speed, coming back up from her underworld journey. She's not going to be totally done, okay, with that journey until October 7th is when she will come out of her shadow. She went all the way up to 28, Leo, retrograded back to 12, took 40 days. This has gone on from July, her journey into the underworld, right? And then stationed is coming back in her shadow. So you're going to see movement forward, new energy happening when Venus emerges back out of that shadow and moves into Virgo in the second week of October. Yeah. In addition to that, then we have Mars. Yeah. Mars is moving along through Libra. Been there really for, 3 weeks, and is going to be there a bit longer. And now it's opposing Chiron on Sunday, this weekend, all weekend. Mars opposite Chiron. And then after Chiron, it's going to go on and conjunct the south node of the moon, oppose the north node of the moon over there in Aries. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. The sun, in the meantime, is coming into this inconjunct with Saturn. Same day, Sunday. By then, the moon is moving into Aquarius. I'm climbing the freaking rock here. Doing a little multitasking. But check out, this is like desert, man. This is desert. Love these rocks. Golly. What else is happening? Mercury. Let's talk a little bit about Mercury. Okay, moving up there and out there and on there. Moving through Virgo still. Thank God the retrograde is over. And comes into a trine with Jupiter. Mercury trine Jupiter on Monday. And of course, it's a couple of days. So by then, Tuesday, moon moves into Pisces. And there is another shift. Endless number of shifts going on here. Let me get one last shot of this lake before I look at the camera and talk to you all about it. There you go. All right, everybody. How are we today? Have you made it through these last, I don't know, Venus turned retrograde July 23rd. And, we've been through Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde and all the planets retrograde, except for Mars. And then Virgo. this whole month of the sun moving through Virgo, the sign of health, the sign of work, the sign of integration with our bodies and with our body minds into work, integrating into society, issues coming up around, am I in the right job? Are my habits and my lifestyle supporting my truth? And are my coworkers got my back and supported? Even aunts and uncles, the sixth house in Virgo has to do with aunts and uncles. And it is this role of apprenticeship and our daily routine. And are we doing our exercises? Are we eating properly? Are we really... I mean, it is the culmination. And here now we are at the equinox. It's the halfway point. From the beginning in Aries, the last 6 months have been about us personally, subjectively, inwardly, contacting our talents, capacities, creativity, our truth, our self, and then we hit Virgo. And out of Leo, Venus still in Leo, but Virgo humbles us and says, you're not the only one, you're not the center of the universe, there's relationships, there's other people, there is society and culture and family, and you have to do service. You've got to integrate yourself and find your truth in a greater container. So now we hit this point, Sun going into Libra, and it's the culmination in one sense. It's like a full moon. It's like, okay, I have, this is who I am. This is my peak. This is what I've got and what I don't have. And I've analyzed it. And here's my strengths and my challenges. And it's like curtain call. Yeah. And it's like we've been backstage, getting our makeup on and getting getting everything ready, and now it's time, boom, Libra. Curtains open. Audience is out there. These next 6 months, Sun moving from Libra all the way around through Pisces, has to do with, yes, I need to integrate some way with an individual, with a business partner, romantic partner, with a job, into society, take a larger role, and grow and evolve through dealing with other people. So there is this freak out point, there is this big period here. It's a big transition. And this is building up to the 180 degrees. Should I stay or should I go? Am I afraid of losing my creativity, my truth, my job, my identity, my money, and I'm going to hold back and I'm not going to participate in the greater whole. It's too much. It's too big. It's too overwhelming. So all the doubts and the fears around losing myself. I mean, just how strong are we in our truth, in ourself, this is who I am, this is my identity. I'm not going to lose it. Or I'm going for it, right? So I'm in my strength, I'm in my truth, and I know that my next step is to work with, express myself in, with, and through these partnerships. And so we're at this, it's the tipping point. And then after that, okay, for the next couple of months, Sun moving through Libra, Sun moving through Scorpio. Mars is in Libra till October 17th. Then it's going to go into Scorpio for 6 weeks after that. The south node of the moon is going to be staying, moving slowly through Libra. I'll talk about that. North node of the moon coming up to conjoin with Chiron. I'm going to talk about this Mars in opposition to Chiron. Let's look at that, because Mars in Libra wants to actively pursue and go forward and, enter the debate, get on that stage, speak the truth, and maybe, arise or erase, some conflict, some feedback, some reactions, but, let's let's deal with it. So Mars in Libra is, let's, have intimate conflicts or whatever. Yeah, conversations, intensity. Very beautiful now, actually, with Mercury coming into this trine with Jupiter. Yes, because that is very fortunate. This is being able to expand out of my subjective little world, and, put myself in other people's shoes, other people's places, feel other people's feelings, and be able to listen as well as communicate my own personal truth. So that trine for Mercury, of course, it's coming up a little later on, after the weekend. But in the meantime, I really want to point out we have a period here of a couple months with the north node of the moon coming through Aries, conjuncting Chiron. And now Mars opposite Chiron. Mars is going to travel on probably next week or so. It's going to oppose the north node of the moon. And this is, hello folks, get ready for it, but it is time to heal. And sometimes that is a crisis around how to assert ourselves, how to find the courage to stand, to trust our instinct, to trust ourselves, to assert ourselves without reacting, without overreacting, without, bombasting or aggressive charging or pushing, but, and so this Mars opposite Chiron, Mars will be opposing that north node of the moon. Yeah, and that, well, let's look at it. Mars conjunct the south node of the moon. That's the path of least resistance, the path of devolution. And that is to lose myself, to be manipulated, to be exploited, to be used, to be driven, to be, just like, to be a slave or, a horse with a master riding you. Yeah, that's a south node of the moon can be, just like overly fearing confrontation, overly fearing being, losing the self. And so withdrawing and not even going on the stage. So this, this opportunity here is to heal this masculine, yang, assertive. Chiron is in Aries for 8 years. Okay, it's only halfway through. We've got 4 more years of this. Everyone from like 47 to 53 or 54 has got this Chiron in Aries. And it has been persecuted, or it has been shamed, or it has past life memories of when I assert myself, speak what I want, try to take what I want, bam, something has stopped me. Could be 7th house partner, could be 4th house family, or it could be 10th house government institutions, World Health Organization. We won't go there. I've been told not to get too political. I'll do a special on politics. But so we're at this key point, right, of owning ourselves, not losing ourselves, but not running away and being afraid of the bigger world or other people, okay? And so there is this, should I stay or should I go? Bum, 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 bum. I got so many songs for this week, but first I want to read you what I feel is like very, very powerful, because it is the last degree of Virgo, the sun coming into the square with Chiron. I'm going to read to you the 30th degree of Virgo. Totally intent upon completing an immediate task, a man is deaf to all allurement. The keynote is the total concentration required for reaching any spiritual goal. This is the final symbol of the first half of the cycle. In the year cycle, the fall equinox is now at hand, and autumn begins. That's in the northern hemisphere. Through spring and summer, many ways and byways have been experienced. The last message of this hemicycle of individuation is that on all decisive occasions, what must be done has to be done so intently that no outer voices can penetrate the mind, still less the soul. The neophyte stands at the gates of the sacred pyramid. There is only one step that they can take ahead, or they are lost. This is the culminating step, the decision that results from a myriad of small choices. Still, a shadow of hesitation can remain. Attention may be distracted from the now by a voice from the past, glamorizing some old memory. The outer doors of perception and thought must be closed so the soul can complete its conquest of illusion. Many times I have talked about Virgo as a sign of initiation. The Virgo-Pisces axis is the axis of initiation. Every initiation involves a separation, an isolation, a testing period, and there comes a moment of decisive, test, question. And this is it, the 29th degree, right, of Virgo, and it's squared by the moon at the same time. So it's very powerful. It's not just the conscious, it's the subconscious. It's not just the light, it's the shadow. It's not just the, the will, it's, the feeling. There is just, so there is a tension. That moon wants to break out of this Sagittarius natural law, universal truth, into concrete Capricorn action. So this is a big one. Not just an equinox, but also a sun square moon. So you may find yourself on the edge of a cliff. You may find yourself on the precipice of change. And you may hear voices or memories or, feelings from the past, or into doubts and into fears. All this coming up because we are right on the edge of Libra. And you might wonder, should I stay or should I go? That was one of the songs that I thought of. Should I stay or should I go? Another one by the Animals. I don't know if you know it. It's my life and I'll do what I want. It's my mind and I'll think what I want. It's an old one, but I'll put a link to it. And another one. You're pushing too hard. You're pushing too hard. You're pushing too hard on me. All I want is to just be free and live my life the way I want it to be. You know that one. That's a very, I think that's the Animals too. Eric Bergman, man. That was a great band. Anyway, that's the Leo. right? That's the Cancer. That's the Gemini, Taurus, Aries. It's just like, I worked very hard to find myself and to get where I am and to da 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 da. And, these other people, the boss, the parents, the partner, the spouse, the kids, all these other people are like, wanting me to, change or step out of myself or, be, and this is another one, to be empathic and to be sympathetic and to be able to put ourselves in each other's shoes. That's what this mantra is about this week. Yeah. Is to stop my selfish ways, my egocentric ways, it's like, okay, I've got to hold, and I've got to, I. Okay, well, guess what? There's an audience out there. The curtains have opened. You became what you are for somebody else, for a bigger purpose, for a bigger role in relationship, for other people, for the world at large. If you're a counselor, healer, influencer, teacher, we're not just here for ourselves. We are seed people. We are here as bringers of a new paradigm, and you don't do that sitting in a cave. Well, you can do that sitting in a cave if you are working on the astral plane and you are so freaking enlightened and, that you can function in other dimensional realms and move energy outside of the physical, emotional, mental, social realms. So let's not limit it. And there's no hurry. This is the other thing. You can overjump. You can jump too far in and lose yourself. You can jump too far back and not engage. You can hang on the precipice and freak out. You can So, but it is a evolutionary gate. Yes, this is an evolutionary gate. We are at the gate. You are at the gate. Do you go forward? Did you forget your phone and have to go back? Or do you just want to stand there at that gate and just think about it for a little bit? It's interesting because that actually the Sabian symbol says it's like we should, go into silence, go, enter the void, go deep down within, put on the earmuffs, put on the earplugs, go sit out here on a rock, talk to the water and the sky and the clouds, right? So it is like I say, it's a tipping point, it's a turning point, it's a very, very powerful week of energy. And I want to come through with what a little bit of what you should do is. Yeah. Well, what you should do. There's no one size fits all. There's no answer or solution of everybody should do this or everybody should do that. No, let's get out of shoulds and look at your individual birth chart. And to me, the big point that you want to be following right now is 15 to 20 degrees of Aries. Where is 15 to 20 degrees of Aries in your chart? And what aspects is that making? That's where Chiron and the north node of the moon are coming together. That moon goes around every 18.6 years. The moon's node, the north node. Like I said, it just entered Aries in July 17th. I think it's going to stay there till January of 2025. That is the leading cutting edge. That house is the leading cutting edge of your evolution for this year and a half. And it's not the same for everybody. And if that north node of the moon for you is going through your first house, it's time for you to stand up, you to take the lead, you to take charge, you to be independent, you to find your voice. And if that Aries is moving through your 7th house or your 8th house, this is a time for you to set your own self aside and your own will and your own independence, your own rash impulses, and learn, evolve through relationship, partnership, 8th house intimacy, 7th house, mental and social and, communication skills and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I mean, I could go around through all the 12 houses, but you just get it, that north node of the moon going through the 12th house. Okay, well, if you've got, Aries rising or, maybe Taurus rising, and that north node's going through the 12th house, well, this is to step back. Maybe it's in a spiritual community or an ashram or a silent retreat or something like that, or, your art studio. But that, that does have to do with relationship, right? Powerhousing your way towards spirit. Very quickly, if the north node's moving through your 11th, it's groups and associations and communities and, broadcasting, friends, associates. 10th house, career. 9th house, travel, study, university, expanding into the foreign, going on the quest. 8th house, intimacy and maybe even conflict, but, like transforming yourself, as a result of, alchemical union. So this is, I'm actively supposed to go towards union. And the 7th house, like I said, is, relationship and partnership could be a time for, a soulmate, soul union. 8th house, 7th house. New people, new relationships coming your way. 6th house is about, work, co-workers, and really putting your nose to the grindstone, and really doing that Sabian symbol that I read. Yeah, like, get it together. 5th house, Aries in the 5th house, that north node of the moon now is telling you for a year and a half, it's time to create. It's time to risk and gamble and go on the adventure and, be your authentic self and, open up and show yourself. 4th house, it says, this is time, for me to work on, my foundation, my family, my sense of security, my emotional realm and inner world. So it's, so much, so what other people say. I do need to really feel safe and secure and find relationships that support my emotional reality. See what I'm saying? See how these work? That 3rd house, that 3rd house is going to be, let's, write, speak, publish, communicate, get it out there, take classes, take courses, follow your curiosity, have debates and discussions and but really, do a tremendous amount of communication with others. And that 2nd house is get a job. No. If that transiting node is moving through your 2nd house, it's time for you to, actively cultivate your talents, your capacities, your bank account. It's time for you to really stand in your shoes, be a standing bull or be a sitting bull, but hold to your values and don't be manipulated, exploited, or, pulled this way or that way or, convinced or converted over to something else. No, it's like, no, I need to find, boom, my truth, right? 1st house also, natural place for Aries. Chiron moving through there, North Node moving through that 1st house is, I need to really trust that I am, whole, complete, and my body and my instincts and my truth, and I need to, And I would love to have people come and follow me or come with me and have, but I need to pioneer new pathways, experiment, freaking go for it, right? I wasn't going to go through all 12 houses in the Pele report. I have a school. You can join my school. It's very inexpensive, and I have a whole library of videos that explains all this stuff. I'm doing the astrology of water in the Bahamas next week. I'm going to be swimming with dolphins, talking about Cancer, 4th house, Scorpio, 8th house, Neptune, Pisces, 12th house, but doing a lot of swimming and sailing. And then Pluto, Scorpio, and the 8th house in Florida. If you really want to dive deep, we've got a small, intimate group gathering here where we are going to do the deep dive into the red energy, the root force, the ourselves, our truth, and how that has to die in order to be transformed through relationship and intimacy into something even greater. Pluto is the force of evolution. You got to check it out. It's going to be amazing. Love is forever calling me to give up my self-centered ways and not let the fear of losing my truth make me go when I really could stay. There's that stage fright. Yeah, the curtain call. It's time to get out there and do it, and you've practiced, and you know your lines, and your makeup is right, and your costume, and everybody's waiting and looking, and there's other actors and actresses waiting for you. You got a role to play, and you're like, oh, but you gotta, yeah, go for it. In the house. And I'm not going into aspects, but it's pretty tricky. I got to say, doing the relationships and partnerships, okay, with the North Node in Aries, which is self, and actually the South Node going through Libra is bringing up, okay, all of our past life habits, the ruts that we've gotten ourselves in when it comes to how we relate with other people. And we have to really look at our shadow stuff, look at our automatic habitual reactions or responses, or what comes up for us when there's confrontation, or what, in order to, really go forward. So it's something. Love is forever calling me to give up my self-centered ways and not let the fear of losing my truth make me go when I really could stay. May you stay or go your own way, or be free, or it's your life for this whole week. And like I say, the next couple of months, namaste, aloha, so much love.